I know all parties involved. Let me tell you what happened. If you hear extra noise, it's just because my window's open. So this is Adela West. She, at the time, was in nursing school for her master's and was a first-time investor and also pursuing her business. She was opening up nursing homes so that way she can cater to veterans. That's what she wanted to do. That was her career path. That's where she was going. Okay, so we have mutual constituents, okay? And so one of our mutuals introduced her to another party that told her he will be able to help her get her business off the ground. This is who she was introduced to. This is Xavier McNeil. Everybody in Memphis knows this man as X. So if you know this man, we know this man. But everybody in Memphis know this man is X, okay? And so he is a real estate wholesale investor. And he got introduced to her by one of our constituents, and he said that they was talking, and they basically decided that they wanted to go ahead and go to do business with each other. He was going to go ahead and get her a house, and she was going to be able to flip it. Well, excuse me, not flip it. She would be able to convert it and make it into a nursing home that would be able to cater to vets like she wanted for her business. Okay. So he said he would help her. Boom. So let's just say all this shit started in January. Okay. And it ended for a whole year. So what happened was he started doing the process of getting her business. Okay. And with that process, it's him obtaining her a home. So this was the home that they found. He actually had this home on contract before this. I personally walked this home. It is a nice home on the inside. It may not look like a lot, but it's actually big. It's sectioned off. It has a big backyard. It's ideal for the type of business she wanted to use it for because it's on the street. It's just actually, it just needed some upgrades. It needed some updating and updating. But it is actually a great home for the type of business venture she was going to put in it. Okay. So he says he was going to help her get it. He had it under contract and that she was going to be able to close within a couple months. Okay. So with that, when you are going through a hard money lender, you're going to have to go through certain steps, certain things in order to get the home contracted and also to be able to obtain a construction contract with that as well. So mind you, our constituent that introduced her to him is a handyman, okay? And he would be able to help get that contract if she was able to get that home under a hard money lender. Even though they would needed a contractor, they would have been able to work something out so where he could have helped and whatever. Okay. So, with that being said, over the course of the next 6 months, this home, so to speak, that Xavier said that he had under contract was going to need inspections X, Y, and Z. Okay. So over the next couple months, she started paying him. She started giving him money like $250, $400, $50. And this was all for things that you legitly need when you are getting a hard money lender or when you are obtaining, when you're trying to get a construction loan, things like that. So he legitly charged her or told her he needed money for things that would necessarily happen, but they were not happening. And so this went on for like a course of 6 months, right? And so she finally got to asking this nigga. She said, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, I haven't seen no paperwork. I haven't been able even to been really in the property and see like X, Y, and Z. I just seen the pictures. And really, I hate to say it, the pictures he got is from like me and some other people. But anyway, he got the pictures because of other people was able to walk the property. He's not a realtor. He's a wholesaler. And this house is under a realtor, or is being sold under a real estate company. So you just can't walk in there. You have to have a lockbox, all type of stuff. At the time, I was looking at it, okay? So now I still think it's the same thing. And whoever gets that home, side note, please make sure that title's clear. But anyway, so she was paying him money to get it, okay? So she was giving him all types of inspection fees, money to like, if they was looking at insurance, a contractor, getting budget, rehab budget information, all type of shit. Okay, so when, like I said, when she paid that final fee, she was asking. So then he turns around and he's like, you know, well, yeah. It's taking too long. We gonna close. We gonna close. So he starts sending her messages talking about he finna close. They finna close. They finna close. They finna close. This goes on for another 3 months, and every day that he's saying they're closing, it's a different time. He'll say it's Friday they're closing. It's Thursday they're closing. It's Wednesday they're closing, and she would be taking days off work. She would be taking time off work. She would be calling, trying to see if it was for real going to go down so she can make arrangements so she could be at the title company office. Sorry, guys, my bad. So she could be at the title company office and she could basically get her house and she can get it closed so she can start getting the work done on it, okay? So that's what she was planning on doing. So that, of course, did not happen. So another 3 months go by. So then she finally starts asking for her fucking money back, okay? Now, if anybody knows Xavier, excuse me, everybody knows Xavier, you better get your money while you can see it. Because if not, you ain't finna have shit with that. And, you know, I had some successful deals with Xavier, but that was only on my own recognizance, okay? I have done business with this man before. I have made money with this man before. However, I know when to walk away from this man, too, because it can either go left or right with this nigga. Just let you know. So anyway, she ended up asking for her money back, and he ghosted her. He couldn't find her. She couldn't find him, whatever. So she ended up sending filing court document papers on him. Come to find out, she found out he had other charges pending against him. Other people from other states was after him. It was a big old fucking mess, right? And so she ended up going to the news, exposing him, because she was like, I don't want nobody else with this shit. And what happened, the way I found out that she was in business with him, is because one of our the constituents that introduced her to him, called me and asked me about the process and said, what's the process? How does this work? So I told him, and then I said, well, who you got on the books? What's going on? And he said it was Adele. And I said, wait a minute, what? Who's she doing business with? Because I'm happy for him. But I'm like, what's going on? Come to find out, I found out who it was. Then I end up calling her. We end up I ended up having to consult with her about what's going on, because I told her, I said, I know either it can go left or right with this man. This shit can get real fucked up with this nigga, woo. And so we end up having a whole consultation. So anyway, with that being said, moving forward, she ended up filing police report, filing court documents. It's still ongoing. The man ended up going to, not behind this, but from other stuff, going to jail and everything. And you know what? I hate to say it, because it's like, I know X personally from some other shit besides business. And like, X cool. You know what I'm saying? But the niggas, the scamming shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That's a thin line between love and hate. And I hate that shit. And he scammed her. And she a black woman. Like, why would you do that, bro? Why didn't you just help her? Because really, to be honest, what needed to be happen was a simple fix, and he could have just did it real quick. He could have literally legitly got her shit together, because she had everything. I don't know where the damn Discord went, but he could have got her together. They could have had their property. They could have been making money. They just had to work some things out. He should have known he was not going to get a stake in her business. And she's, of course, she had her shit, whatever. But yeah, it's still ongoing. There's still a lot of things going on with that, because she's still pursuing her money. And Xavier is still, doing the thing, whatever. But yeah, right now, yeah, she's on his ass. She on top of that motherfucking nigga head, because he stole almost $2,000-$3,000 from her, and that crippled her in the point to where she was trying to put her money in an investment and make some real money, and that put a bad taste. I'm happy as an investor she kept going, because things can happen, but this was her first go around, and that shit was nasty. So